Hi, this is from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today, book of the Berenstain Beer, Don't Pollute Anymore, from 1991. So let's get started. Well, looky here, said Papa Bear, as he opened to eat the news. Your friend Professor Ackley Factoro got his picture in the paper. Oh, said Brother and Sister Bear, coming to see. There's a big story, too, said Papa, in a headline. My goodness, said Mama Bear, what is about? Leading scientists claim Bear Country is in serious trouble, he said, reading the headline. What sort of trouble? Asked Sister. Papa, who was reading the story to himself, didn't answer. What sort of trouble? Said Mama. Repeated Sister question. Oh, you know how professors are, he said, factually making a big fuss about pollution. Well, I know how Professor factually is, said Mama, and I think he's quite sensible. So do I, said Sister. Me too, agreed Brother. Oh, he's a great guy, all right, said Papa. He digs up terrific dinosaur bones, and he runs a great museum, but I hope to think he gone a little overboard on his pollution thing. I'm as much against pollution as the next fellow, he continued. I just don't think a couple of candy wrappers and drinking cups along the side of the road is the end of the world. Besides, Bear Country is in great shape. Come on, I'll show you. He opened the door and led the family out onto the front stoop. You see, Bear Country is not only in great shape, it's downright beautiful. The rolling hills, the forests, the lakes, and the streams, and just look at the sun. Just look at that sunset. It's beautiful, all right, agreed Brother. But our science book said that some of those colors are caused by chemicals in the air that shouldn't be there, said Papa. Say, aren't you two supposed to be doing homework? Sister, who had just about completed her homework, finished quickly, but Brother Bear was stuck. Teacher Bob had asked him to do a report on endangered species. The book he had taken out of the library wasn't very helpful. Of course, the kind of shape Bear Country wasn't as simple as Papa made it seem. How Bear Country looked depends on your point of view. It looks fine from the Bear family front stoop. It looks even better if you have a bird-eye view while flying high above the earth. But if you have a squirrel-eyes view and was finding through acorns because too many trees was being cut down, Bear Country doesn't look so fine. If you had a duck eye view, you might think the professor was right about pollution, and if you had a fish eye view, you might think things were downright awful. The next day, Brother decided to visit the museum to ask Professor Factoro for help with his endangered species report. Sister Bear went with him. Professor Factoro was usually cheerful and friendly and bubbly over with ideas and projects with the Cubs visitors, but this time he looked worried and gummed. He cheered up a bit when he saw them, but when Brother told him the purpose of the visitors, to get help on a report about endangered species, he said something very surprising. I'll tell you the endangered species to your report on us. We don't understand, they said. It's very simple, explained the professor. We bear and other creatures need certain things to survive. Clean air to breathe, pure water to drink, and good soil to grow food in. We don't do something about pollution, we're all going to become endangered species. Come on, he said. You'll understand soon enough. He led them out where the Acro-Factoromobile would park. It was a special van with all kind of science fiction gear in it. Then the professor took brother and sister on a beer country tour at a wouldn't soon forget. They went past Grizzly Gus' garage, where they saw order leaking into the stream, getting on ducks and killing some fish. They went past the old box factory, where they saw ugly black smoke pouring into the air. They scuba dived into the Great Bear Lake, where they saw everything from soda cans to rusty old bed springs. And worse, they saw a fish tangled in the plastic soda can holder. They cut it loose, but they couldn't rescue all the fish from the plastic holders, carelessly thrown away. They drove through the forest and saw that a great many trees had been cut down, and that's not many new trees had been planted to replace them. You might speak to your dad about that, said the professor. He and his fellow wood bears could help with that problem. I think I see what you mean about becoming an endangered species, said brother, when they got back to the museum. Yes, agreed sister, but what are we going to do about it? Did that evening news story do much good? Asked brother. Not much, said the professor. The idea that Bear Country is in serious trouble because of pollution seemed to be hard to get across. To grown-ups maybe, said sister, but we understand, and all the Cubs friends will too, because we are the ones who have to live on a messed up, polluted earth when we grow up. Professor, said brother, how does this sound? You come to art school and explain all about pollution to the Cubs of Bear Country. Maybe we can do something about it. Factually was impressed. I'll give Teacher Bob a call right away and arrange it, he said. And that's what happened. The Cubs with all eyes and ears as Factoro told them about the trouble Bear Country was getting into. First, he taught them about 3 important new words: ecology, conservancy, and recycle. The way the professor explained it, ecology means how all creatures meant not wasting the valuable things of the earth, like water, wood, and metal. And recycle meant finding ways to use some of those valuable things over and over. The Cubs learned quite a lot from Factoro, and they had some ideas of their own too. How about a recycling program? Suggested one Cub. Maybe for a newspaper to start. Add another, then if it works, for cans and bottles too. Tim Honeypot said he'd talk to his dad, Mayor Honeypot, about it. Brother Bear remembered Grizzly Gus' garage. You shouldn't be allowed to spill water into streams and kill fish, he said. Bab, whose dad was the chief of police, said, I'll talk to my dad. If there isn't a law against it, there ought to be. Even Tutaw helped with an idea. My uncle owned a super duper market. He could put in a bag return plan for reusable bags. Excellent suggestion, said the professor. And if some folks don't want to cooperate, added Tutaw, me and the gang could lean on them a little. The bag return is fine, Tutaw said Teacher Bob, but no leaning. Cousin Freddie had the best idea of all. Let's start a club to stop pollution and call it the Earth Saver Club. We'll make posters and bumper stickers and have cleanup and marches and parades. But there was still the problem of Papa and his fellow wood bears. That evening, Brother and Sister Bear told Mama and Papa about the Earth Saving Club and all the plans for stopping pollution. Mama was very impressed. Papa was too. As I said before, I'm just as much against pollution as the next fellow. But when the cubs asked him to be sure that he and his fellow wood bears planted a new tree for every one they chopped down, he got a little grumpy. He gumped. It's hard enough to cut trees down without having to plant them as well. Besides, what's all the fuss about? They are just trees. My dear, said Mama, the cubs are right. The forest is a living thing and deserves respect. Papa was about to say, but thought better of it. The problem of conserving the forest must have been on his mind because that night he had a dream. In the dream, he was walking towards the forest to cut wood. When the trees began to sway and wave their branches, then the branches turned into reaching, grasping arms. Then the tree climbed out of the earth on their roots and chased them. Help, cried terrified Papa in his sleep. The trees, they are after me. He woke up in a cold sweat. Having a nightmare? Asked Mama. It must have been something I ate, he said. Or something you heard, perhaps, she said. About trees, he said, and turned over to try to go back to sleep, but it wasn't going to be easy. The Cubs didn't expect to solve all the Bear Country pollution problem, but the Earth Saving Club made a very good start. The mayor decided a special holiday called Earth Saving Day, and the Cubs had a big parade. Brother and Sister Bear marched at the head with Professor Actoro Factoro. There was many grown-ups in the parade, too, including Papa Bear, who carried a sign that did not say. So that was the Berenstain Bears Don't Pollute Anymore for 1991. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, have a groovy day. Well, another video coming out real soon.